We're good?
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, good evening, Rabbi. Maharal. It's the month of Elul. I thought it would be appropriate for us to take a sugya over the next few weeks. The sugya that we're going to learn in Sefer Nesivis is called Nesiv Koyach HaYetzer, the Koyach of the Yetzer. And what we need to do to fight our Yetzer. B'Sefer Mishlei, Shlomo HaMelech writes, Im ra'ev soin acho, if your enemy is hungry, ha'achileu lechem, give him bread. Im tzama, if he's thirsty, hashkeu mayim, let him drink water. Ki gacholim achoite al roishoy, you're putting coals on his head. Hashem yishalem loch, and Hashem will pay you for that. When we talk about a soine, when we talk about imra'av soin acha, soine, as Maharal is going to explain, has many different interpretations. Soine can mean a physical enemy. Unfortunately, somebody physically, another person who hates us. And the Soinacha could be the Yetzer Hara, who's also known as Soina. Each one needs an interpretation. Each one needs a hezber of what because Shlomo HaMelech encompassed in the word Soinacha alasart Soinim, all the Soinim. So the Eitzah that he's giving has to encompass all types. Those that you're allowed to hate back, like a real Rasha, as we'll soon see, this was also said about Haman HaRasha. And then another Jew, which is Al Tisnas Achicha Bilvavecha, where you need to figure out the way to make shalom, to make peace, and not keep a machlokes going. And then, of course, there's the Yetzer Hara. And there are different types of Yetzer Haras. So let's learn tonight a little bit of what the Maharal has to say on the different type of sonim, and how Shlomo HaMelech, the way Maharal interprets Shlomo HaMelech's words. Zog Tehed L'Gemara, and let us begin. Shlomo HaMelech, what's a loimer? Shlomo wanted to teach us. Ki im ra'ev soin acha. If your enemy, and now we're talking about the physical enemy, is hungry, is needy, al timlam la'achaloi soy lechem v'lerachem al soinacha. Actually, the best thing to do to diffuse a fight is to take the initiative and have rachmanis. Be the bigger one and have rachmanis on the person that hates you. Show them good. Show them rachmanis. Farvos lahachiloi lechem ki arachmanis hafech ha'oyev, will turn the enemy around. Ki kashu merachem olav miskasher umisached imoy. You're connecting to him. He's not going to expect it. He certainly won't expect it. And he won't trust you at first, unless he sees, indeed, that you're serious and genuine. What will that accomplish? Because you're going to be bitul gomer ata oisa until the sinner will go away. He won't be misnaged if he sees the genuine rachmanis. Hashem will pay you for this. You have all the reasons and all the excuses to be not nice to him, because he hates you. and yet you're still merachem, says the Rebbe Shem, that is a koyach ma'ala koyches. And that v'lakach Hashem Yisroach mishalem loy. Nimtza midas rachmanis legamri. That's one pshat. That's one type of Scheiner. Then you have a different Scheiner, like a Haman or Russia, who's a sign that you got to get rid of. With him, you can't make peace. He comes from Amalek. What do you do with him? When you give him bread, then you make him into someone that's totally in you. Because you've done good with him. He says, the Gemara Esther Shezimna Haman l'Seuda. Why did Esther, davka of all things, Esther invited Haman to the Seuda? Because of this pasuk. V'kama Hashem d'chsev imrav soinecha chileu lechem v'imtzama shkeu mayim ki gechol mata choysa roish v'Hashem yishalem lach zog ter azoi. What's the pshat? Ki kasha, bottom of the page. Ki kasha oyev mikabel parnosa mimcha. If you're mashpia on him, if you're capable of mashpia, listen to the next word. Efshar sheyiyeh misnaged loch. You become the mashpia on him, so he doesn't have the koyach anymore to fight against you. Ki hamekabel min acher nichnes tachas asher hu mekabel mimenu. The noisein is empowered to be the one who is in charge, so to speak, over Yena Mekabel. Lefichach asher hu mekabel mimcha to choyzke cholam ha-roishoy. The Rabbi Shalom will help you in a sense because you created a situation where you're the mashpia to him. If you're his source of parnosa, so then you're his source of life. If he needs you, then he can't destroy you because they're uncommon.
I said this last week. The giver of tzedakah cannot die because
that's right.
Means he always needs her just for this soda. Because Homo always wants soda, wasn't
But he needed her.
pay his bills.
They needed her the next day. She came back a second. For that zach, which he needed, he had money, but what he needed from her, and she became his mashpia, and that's why she pulled the plug. Those are two pshatim. But what's nagea linyanenu is the next part, which is the Yetzer Hara. Ubegemara beperak hachalil, second column, Rabbi say. Ubegemara dorish hakosav al Yetzer Hara. He's the enemy of a person. The Kamar Shloima says one of his names is Scheiner. Shenemar imrav Scheinecha chileu lechem v'imtzama shkeu mayim v'Hashem yishalem lach atikra yishamach ela yashli mena will be mashlam you. What's the pshat? Beer. Ki Shloima melokara yetzara Scheiner k'may shizbar b'samach v'Omar im ra'ov re'ev, he's hungry. She yetzar hara mesis adam oisai el hara'a. He tries to get you. He takes you to evil. Says the Maharal, there are two types of Yetzer Haras in a person. Even though we call it a Yetzer Hara, there's one Yetzer Hara stamped from the guf, which means it's the body Yetzer Hara, and then there is the soul Yetzer Hara, the chelek of the nefesh. Even the nefesh, which is meant to be spiritual and good, can become bad. For example, a midah like gaiva, a midah like kas, anger, gaiva, haughtiness, is not a physical. A physical ra is taiva and erva. That's physical. Wanting to do something that's inappropriate. That's gashmi. But then there's ruchani. Let's see it inside. V'nira lefi Medrash Chachamim al shnei Yetzirah she'usku b'kol moken. Echadu Yetzirah shel aveira, dainu znus, v'hu begufa adam. V'ashenu Yetzirah shel avodah zara, v'hu b'nefesh adam. V'shneihem ha'Torah mevateles asay. The learning of Torah, as we'll soon see, and the internalizing of Torah has the koyach to mevatel these two Yetzer Haras. One avodah zara, one is that Chazal say shnei benois light, Amoin and Moav. Amoin is the letters Noam, pleasure. It's the Neimus Halonachon. It's the Shlechta. It's the pleasure that a person has to stay away from. Moav is Moitzi Min Ha'av. You're not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. That's Avodah Zarah. Moav and Ammon, Shnei Benois Loit. Each of them have a koyach hara, and each of them represent atzveito. Each one is a koyach of Yetzer Hara. What should you do with them? Zuk the Maharal, the Parakama de Kedushin, Tana Rebbe Rishmol. Beni, my son, in pogam becham menuvul zeh. If this menuvul, this pervert, comes to you, moshchehu lebeis hamedrash, pull him into the Bais Medrash. Im evenu, if this Yetzer Hara is a stone, ni moyach, he'll crumble. Ve'im barzel, and if he's metal, mispoitzetz, he'll explode. Shenema alay koi devarai ke'esh num Hashem, ve'kepatish yafutza selo. Koi omar, koi alay koi devarai. Ke'esh, on the one hand, like a fire, and kepatish, a fire against the metal, and a patish against the stone. What is this concept of a Yetzer Hara that's a stone? And what is the concept of a Yetzer Hara that's like barzel? Says the Maharal, Pshat Sazoy, V'yesh mefarshim, ki ha'adam mechuyev b'mitzvahs asay v'lo yisasay. Hooray! A person is obligated to do mitzvahs asay, which means to do something. What do you think the Yetzer Hara is going to tell you when you have to go do something? Don't do it. So he'll tell you, be like a stone. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. Don't move. Mitzvahs atzei tzarech adam lezarez atzmai v'lepoil ha-mitzvah. I'm at the bottom of column number 2. V'yetzar megares ha'adam shelo yishma. Don't listen. V'lo yikabel es ha-mitzvah. Don't accept upon doing it. V'al zeh namim even hu sha'even lekoishi shaloi, because it's heavy. Ein nichnas davar. He doesn't want to do lasais rak munach ke'even doima einay oise. Evil nishton. Just stay there. He doesn't want to be poil. No pa'ula. Lefi chachamim yetzar megarish shelo yishma lasas ha-mitzvah k'may even al zeh im evenu. If it's an even, you have to go ahead and destroy it, break it. Don't be, when it comes to doing mitzvahs, and the Yetzer Hara is telling you, don't go, yifatesh, break it, break the seller. When it comes to doing a lo yisase, what does the Yetzer Hara say? Do it, be mizares. That's keneged the nefesh. A dover hefach mitzvahs asay. So there, he'll do things he's not supposed to do. Which he doesn't do. Why is he like a barzel? Mechatech umashches. He's mechatech and mashches, like a barzel. Valzenam barzel u'shema Yetzer Hara. Bekir by meses oiseshia poyel ra. Do something negative. La'avar mitzvahs lo yisase. For that, a person out there, the Torah is mevatel that as well. Ki koyach ha-Yetzer Hara eina shoylet. Now, comes the line of the evening. How does the Yetzer Hara break the stone and destroy the metal? The answer is because a person does something wrong when he feels like he's a Baal Chesaron, when he feels unworthy. When a person is bishleimus, he has the koyach to fight everything. I always say over a vart. I heard it from one of my talmidim, Josh. Says, "V'ahavta l'reyacha kamoicha." He would say to me, "Rabbi, you can only love your reyacha if you love yourself first. You have to be at peace with yourself, kamoicha, to be able then to be healthy enough to be v'ahavta l'reyacha." When a person chas v'shalom hates themselves, when a person is too hard on themselves, you think they're going to be good siyenim? They're not healthy enough. A person has to have shleimus mitzad atzmai, and then can have shleimus in ander and yanim, and then he can have shleimus in other things. A person who's a Baal Chesaron then unfortunately is susceptible to do all things wrong because he doesn't have the koyach to fight. Yetzer means you have to fight. You have to be able to get used to saying no when the Yetzer Hara says yes. And when the Yetzer Hara says yes, you have to say no. You always have to have that koyach kineged. And when a person isn't sholem mitzich alein, he's not complete, then how does he get the strength to be able to combat and to go to that fight and do what it takes to be mevatel yena koyach? V'kasher mischaber ha'adam el ha'Torah, the Torah which gives a person Torahs Hashem Tamima Meshivas Nefesh. It's tamim, it's complete. It gives a person a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, a sense of righteousness. When a person learns Torah and connects to Torah, he feels good about himself or about herself. They feel good. That koyach is the koyach mitvos amensh can loichem zayin. Now you can fight, and you have the wherewithal to be able to make the right decision and push keneged the koyach hayetzer. Aval iker apirish bo lahidiyah mailas haTorah. The point that says the Maharal is shayidei haTorah. When a person is doing the right, knows the right thing to do, understands. We said over in Zera Shimshon, I told over a story about Rabbi Yehuda Abramowitz. His father passed away, and the Chaver Kadisha said, close his eyes. And he couldn't do it, because he didn't know why. He didn't know the tam, so he couldn't have any tam. He didn't know the reason, so he couldn't have a taste. He didn't know the reason, so he couldn't connect to it. As soon as he understood why you're supposed to do it, now it made sense. Then it becomes enlightening. When a person learns Torah and starts to understand how things work, that gives them a shleimus. Then they have an understanding and they feel good and they understand what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. That itself gives us the courage and the energy to follow through and do the right thing. Is al yedei ha-Torah mesulaka adam hayetzer hara shu pchisus ha'adam. It takes away the smallness. When this pchisus goes away, oz nishar ha'adam b'madregas malach. A person comes to the madrega where he is uplifted. Kasha misalik me'ita yetzer hara ki'ilu ha'adam kuloi sichli. This is what the Tmimas HaTorah. When we talk about the Torah being Hachelu Lechem, Lechem refers to Lachmei Shel Torah. You know, the word Lechem also comes from the word Lochem, Milchama. And Matzah is Meloshen Matzah Umeriva, which also means to fight. My Rabbi Scheiner of Rabbi Shapiro used to say, when a person sits down to essen, it's a milchama. What are you eating for? Is it for your guf and only for the guf? Or you're going to pick yourself up and make that achila, make that shtia into a davar shib de kedusha? You're going to make the proper, every achila. If you never fight with your yetzer hara, so then what's the fight? You always lose. You don't fight. It's always only about the gashmi. But as soon as a person learns Torah, and he understands that there's more to life than just the gashmi, that there's arichas yamim, and that there's tam and Torah and mitzvahs, so now it taka becomes hachilu lechem. Go ahead and fight. Ki lo ya'ala lechem levada yichya adam. Ki al kol moitza pi Hashem yichya adam. You find the koyach of the pi Hashem in every single thing, and you're moitza the pi Hashem. And I want to explain this one point, and we'll conclude tonight with this. How did everything come in the world? Where did it come from? Bidvar Hashem shamayim nasu. Bidvar Hashem shamayim nas. Hu amar vayehi. Hu tziva vayamoid. He said, and it became. Every davar means thing, comes from a dibur, from a word. Bidvar Hashem. You want the ruchnius of the gashmius. The dibur is the ruchnius of the davar, of the physical. The dvar Hashem, b'dvar Hashem shamayim nasu, v'ruach piv kol tzavam. The words of Hashem is the koyach in the bria. How do you unlock the ruchnius in the gashmius? Ki al kol moitza pi Hashem yichya adam. When you make a bracha and when you eat, and it's not just a physical act, but it's a ruchniistic act, so you get to the dibur Hashem in the davar. You're able to release the ruchnius that's in the gashmius. So your body and your neshama are having hana from what you're doing. When there's no connection to ruchnius, it's just gigessen v'abehema. It's just what fressing. But as soon as a person has the koyach and has a shleimus, shteit Talmud Chacham is not allowed to eat with an amaretz. It's not supposed to sit down and eat with an amaretz. A Talmud Chacham's achila is a maisa ruchni, because his actions are dictated by his neshama. So even though he's eating, but his eating is the lechem, it's the milchama that through his achila, he's nourishing his guf because it's good for his neshama. And that's what he's thinking about. Versus somebody that's just into the physical, because he's not fighting the yetzer hara. Every yid has that koyach within ourselves to be that tzaddik. Ki amech kulam tzaddikim. We're all tzaddikim. We all have that koyach to unlock the dvar Hashem in every davar, to get to the ruchnius that there is in every single thing, to enjoy the world, but enjoy it in a way, not that the yetzer hara takes you away from the connection to Hashem. Through the Torah, im ein Torah, im ein kemach, im ein kemach, ein Torah. But together, the two of them complement each other. That's the koyach of fighting the yetzer and being able, through the hashlam of Torah, to get to the dvar Hashem in every davar. To be able to get to the ruchnius, which is in the gashmius. That's eating, enjoying, aber doing it for the way a Yid is supposed to do it. Bit the din neshama. And that's the madrega Yid can get to. So Ma'ala Zoicha Zayin. This is the month of fighting. It's the month that a person has to fight and be loichem. And fight against those kaiches that are telling him not to do. And with that battle, we are victorious. You gotta go to war, and which we do every single day. And Baruch Hashem, Klal Yisrael zoicha to win battle after battle. Give a bracha to Alamin. So ma'ala zoicha zayin bezus Hashem, to win and be victorious in our battles. Our ruchnius should be misgaber over the gashmius. The dvar Hashem that we encounter in everything that we do should be released through our midas, through our maisim toivim. A good Shabbos.